South Bend about half an hour after the originally scheduled kickoff time. And we get underway between Notre Dame and Detroit Mercy. Irish go long right away looking for Matthew Root. Notre Dame's coming into this one at 2-1-3 overall, 1-1-0 in the ACC. Titans 1-5-1 overall, 0-1-1 in Horizon League play. And there's an injury less than 30 seconds in on the far side of the pitch. Sebastian Green has gone down for the Irish. I hope Green is all right. Field conditions are a bit suspect after all the rain that fell throughout the afternoon. Obviously, Alumni Stadium has a drainage system in place to handle as much water as it can, but it still might be a little bit slick out there, and Green needs some assistance. Good to see him back to his feet.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the field definitely is going to be a condition tonight. It's slippery. It's definitely slippery, but that can have two results. Either we get a fast-paced game, or we get players that need to be especially careful considering the condition of the pitch, even with the drainage system. That's a pitch that you always got to be careful in. We've even had a tornado warning tonight, Tyler, so the field's definitely going to be something that the players have to look out for.
Green heads off. He put forth a career night on Friday against Chicago State. 3 assists after he had come into the match without an assist in his 42-game career. He picked up 3 of them in the 6-1 victory, but he'll make his way off, and Notre Dame will line up a substitute to take his place. Looks like it'll be Jacob Bartlett. Right now there's a lingering conversation near the benches. As Bartlett makes his way into a position to check in. Play resumes with Notre Dame retaking possession. Early start for Bartlett, who has made 5 starts this season. Getting action early in the match is nothing new for him. KK Bafour, another midfielder, marching toward the corner. The Titans pick it away from him, and Clayton Lafayette, who scored his first career goal on Saturday at Cleveland State, look to play it forward. And there's a miscue on the back end for the Titans, and a corner incoming for Notre Dame just a minute in.
And we've seen the Irish so many times get an early goal from the corner like we did on Friday. This is something that Detroit Mercy has to be careful with.
This is how Notre Dame scored its first goal on Friday against Chicago State, a KK Bafour corner kick from the far side. Look for number 5, Genenbacher. Comes well short of him, and careens right back out for a second Irish corner. It's Genenbacher and his header on the receiving end of Bafour's in-swinging corner about midway through the first half on Friday. The Titans clear again, this time out to Wyatt Lewis. Now Flanagan chips it back in the direction of Bafour, and it eventually finds him. Here's Bartlett.
You got this, Irish!
Olin Spicer advancing with it, fighting Flanagan out wide. Behind Matthew Root it goes for a running attempt. Lewis directs it just wide, but off a Titan, and a third Irish corner is on the way. So this Notre Dame attack, which really opened up in a big way on Friday, equaling its season total for goals in the match alone with 6. Is on the move again early tonight. Bafour goes low and short. Lewis the chip. The header rises just over the top. And Detroit Mercy will take a goal kick. Genenbacher in the vicinity again, creating havoc on the corner kick.
Yeah, We've seen what Gannon Backer can do when it comes to aerial plays, and he even scored a goal on Friday. Today, trying to do the same route to open the scoreboard for the Irish. But before that, we got even Lewis on attack, which is an unusual position for him. He's typically more of a defensive midfielder, but nevertheless, he provided support on attack and got another corner for the Irish on a quick start tonight.
There's Victor Sulk, the starting keeper for Detroit Mercy tonight. He's from Pilsen, Czech Republic, a redshirt sophomore, making his 4th start of the year. Sylvain looked to play it out wide. Notre Dame intercepts. Now Lewis and the Irish settle it back down just under 4 minutes in. Notre Dame and Detroit Mercy met last season. It was another September Tuesday game, a bit earlier in the month on the 5th. Notre Dame scored a 1-0 victory on Matthew Rue's 18th minute strike. Flanagan looks for him up front. The ball angles off to the side and beyond. Sulk for another Detroit Mercy goal kick.
And you mentioned that game from last year when talking with head coach of the Titans, Nate Kopunek. He mentioned that he has that game in the top of his head. He's excited to come back here to play again against the 2023 runner-ups of the whole thing. And this is another opportunity for him to see the growth of a program that he feels he's always in the goal of taking to a competitive national contender level.
Yeah, he was very excited about the way that matchup turned out last year between Detroit Mercy and Notre Dame. You know, you show up in early September, you don't have a great feel for exactly what the two teams are going to be, and ends up being a 1-0 Notre Dame victory. The Irish go all the way on to the College Cup final. Detroit Mercy ends up sneaking into the Horizon League tournament, and those early tune-ups where you can really challenge your team and allow them to learn from playing against a top program can really set you up for success later in the year. And it certainly did for a Detroit Mercy team that was projected to finish last in the Horizon League and got into the league championships.
Yeah, and that's exactly what their coach also mentioned. Given what they know now that they're capable of doing, why not go and compete afterwards at the Horizon League? And one of the keys to compete in the Horizon League is precisely competing against the best. The Irish are obviously one of the best based on their last year form. So they want to come here and they want to actually compete, get prepared for that actual Horizon League play, and see if they have another great year.
Detroit Mercy projected a 6th place finish in the league this season. Notre Dame going long, the flag is up. And in the 7th minute, Detroit Mercy takes back over, and we'll tell you a bit more about the head coach for the Titans, Nate Kopunek, who spent the previous 4 years prior to this now 2-year stretch at Detroit Mercy coaching with Bowling Green. He led Falcons to a pair of NCAA tournament berths, an at-large bid in 2021, and that team went to an ACC program in Louisville in the first round of that tournament and picked up the Bowling Green program's first victory in an NCAA tournament in the 21st century overall. So he did some great things with that program, and now he has big goals in mind, like we talked about with the Titans, talking about that national stage.
Yeah, he's a coach that's definitely all about development, about bringing growth to the program season. He's optimistic about getting the work done as long as he's given the time, and he knows that eventually results will accompany him. He mentioned that to us. He's optimistic about that, as I mentioned, and he's a guy that just seems to want to get the best out of the players to overall make a solid team.
He's from Annapolis, Maryland, attended Towson University, graduated in 2014. Notre Dame's still settling in. Here's their captain, Bryce Spinell. Flanagan, nifty play to find Spicer down the wing. Sees it go past him to Bartlett. And the Irish switch the field over to the left side with Josh Ramsey, one of their most experienced defenders and players overall. Lewis shielding the ball, sending it over to Flanagan once again. Notre Dame in the midst of a 6-match homestand that opened 2 weeks ago against Duquesne. That was a 1-1 draw for the Irish, then a 1-0 loss to top-ranked Stanford last Saturday, the 6-1 defeat of Chicago State on Friday, and then after this one, it's a College Cup final rematch Friday night here against Clemson. We'll have a lot more to tell you about with that looming matchup during the halftime break.
What a game that will be.
No question. And even in the regular season, that was a great match. Onside, 1-0 Notre Dame. And it's Matthew Roux again. The hat trick on Friday. He scored against the Titans last year, and he has the Irish on the board early this season.
And Roux keeps the momentum going. Great adjustment by Roux to stick inside, to remain in legal play, gets the ball, gets an easy shot in front of the keeper, and takes the first one of the night.
That one looked like it deflected off of a Titan on the back line, and all of a sudden Matthew Roux found his way in alone and easily beat Victor Solk with a clinical finish inside the far post. His team leading 5th goal of the season comes in the 9th minute and has the Irish on the hunt and in the scoring column early again. Bryce Bonneau picks up the assist. That is his 4th of the season already. For Matthew Roux, that is career goal number 26. He reached the 60-point benchmark during that hat trick on Friday night, and now he's at 62 points for his illustrious Irish career. Putting the pressure on Solk. Turnover. KK Bafour marches in, goes with the chip, and it's just high. Nearly a second for Notre Dame, but just above the bar for KK Bafour.
And this is what the Irish love to have, a quick start. They love to be as comfortable as possible from the beginning of the game in the pitch. Would have been a great start had they gotten another goal from before.
Bonneau and Bartlett combine to intercept the restart. Notre Dame, one of the most locked down teams in the ACC and the country over the last few years when getting on the scoreboard first. The Irish on Friday, after getting the opening goal, would add on twice more before conceding one. Bafour causing trouble again in the corner. The Titans manage him nicely and clear out to midfield. Gannenbacher, the All-ACC third-team selection from a year ago. Irish break it through to Bafour. Turning on the speed again. Now out to the win it goes for Flanagan. Spicer available. Instead he'll chip high and beyond Roux. Wyatt Lewis wins a throw-in. And now Notre Dame might have a chance to set up a long throw. Bartlett will go short and to the back.
We can see right now that after Green's injury, it seems that Coach Riley even decided to switch up the system a bit. It's rather Gannenbacher who makes a 3-line alongside Ramsey and Ferguson, with Bartlett joining as an extra midfielder here in the pitch tonight.
Here comes Gannenbacher on the right side of that 3-man line. On to Flanagan. Across it goes. A second for Notre Dame. And Matthew Roux has done it again. Back-to-back matches with multiple goals. Rue entered the week looking for a breakout, and he now has 5 goals in the last 4 days.
Talk about momentum, talk about being on fire, talk about finding yourself again. Coach Riley put all of his trust in the man, and that's the reason why he did it, because he knew the type of player he had. He knew the versatility that gets you from Flanagan, but even if Flanagan wasn't a great momentum, Rue was there. Rue was there. Rue was a leader in the team. Rue is a leader in the team, and Rue is the man by which the Irish tonight are winning 2-0.
Second of the match in the first 12 minutes for Matthew Rue. He's now up to 6 goals on the season. The assists go to Jack Flanagan, his first assist of the year, and Kyle Genenbacher, his first assist of the season. On the flip side, here's the 3-goal scorer for Detroit Mercy, Sylvain, winning the ball briefly. Now a battle between Spicer and Samuel Speed. Results in an Irish throw. So goals from Matthew Rue in the 9th and 12th minutes, separated by just 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Have the Irish off and running after a 30-minute delay here in South Bend. Last time out for Detroit Mercy in that Cleveland State match on Saturday, the 2-2 draw, was a completely different story. Detroit Mercy scored twice in the first 10 minutes of that match and ended up giving up the lead to Cleveland State, but still got out of town with a draw on the road. This time it's Notre Dame cashing in early in the match. The Titans still without a shot so far, and with limited possession in the opening 14 minutes, we'll have to try and provide an answer. Here comes Flanagan. He's got room to track it down. Rue waiting in the middle. Instead, Spicer drives it low underneath Rue and cleared out. Bartlett lost the battle to Saeed Janoun. Struggle continues just short of midfield. Now the Titans break it out. And here's a foot race between Genenbacher and Sylvain, and it's Genenbacher winning possession for the back line.
And you were mentioning how today the Titans don't necessarily look at the type of team that tied against Cleveland on their last match. Nevertheless, the Irish need to keep their focus going because it's a team that likes to take the shots. Whenever they have an opportunity, whenever you can't even see the opportunity, they like to take the shots. So when you have a team like that in front of you, you gotta keep on attacking, trying to get as much advantage as possible on the scoreboard, but also be concentrated on the defense. As we were talking before, Sylvain, 15 shots in 7 games this season. If he gets an opportunity tonight, he'll try. And in one of those, it could go in.
There's Nolan Spicer. Back to Flanagan over the top of Lewis. Cleared back out for about 4. The Titans have had some success finding goals this season. Put up 5 in their lone victory against Eastern Illinois late in August when they went on the road to Maryland in the next match after that to face off with one of the 2 Big Ten schools they have seen so far. They struck twice in a 5-2 loss. But it's been a challenging non-conference schedule so far by design for the Titans, with the trips to Maryland, Dayton, Michigan, and now Notre Dame. Flanagan roams free again, seeking Rue. And the clearance comes all the way out for Sylvain. Heavy touch off of his right foot. Throw in again in Genenbacher and the Irish. Gershom Sylvain, former Horizon League all-freshman selection back in 2022. Led the Titans in game-winning goals, shots, and shots on goal a season ago, and played 76 minutes in the match here last season. Here come the Irish one more time. A cutback move, room to shoot, And Solk comes up with the stop. May have caught a piece of Rue on the way in as well. Notre Dame looks to keep the heat on. Genenbacher has space. Spicer wanted to return it for him, but he wasn't available. And the clearance comes back to midfield for Sylvain. Flanagan, Rue's wide open, but he's offside. Head referee tonight, Michael Laverne, assistants Carlos Leyva and Christopher Lauer. We'll take a look back at that save moments ago as Wyatt Lewis had the opportunity, but Solk and maybe Rue as well kept that one out.
Yeah, it's Solk focused, but I do believe it hits Rue. I mean, when you're so hungry for so many goals, the ball just finds you.
Finds him again here. Notre Dame's got some numbers. Nolan Spicer with a lane, and Solk with a tremendous stop to deflect it past the far post for a corner. Victor Solk has faced plenty of shots in his starting action so far this year, and this was one of his better stops of the year.
Yeah, that's an amazing save. Seemed to be the third for the Irish, but Solk says no.
Balfour corner, lands short, and just over the end line for a Titans goal kick. Opponents have tested Victor Solk to the tune of double-digit shots on him in each of the last 2 games he's played, as he started both against Cleveland State on Saturday and in the previous match a week earlier against the defending Horizon League champs Green Bay. Detroit Mercy started the year with Quinn Tews, the redshirt sophomore who was a Horizon League all-freshman team selection last year in between the posts. But he had a bumpy start. Colin Monroe, the freshman, saw some action in that Michigan match. And now over the past week and a half, it's been Victor Solk's cage. Lafayette putting the pressure on. Notre Dame seeks out Rue, now about 4 steps forward to it. Louis Simon, the Frenchman. Titans pivot all the way back to their keeper. Now on it goes for Drew Pearson, one of the captains, a sophomore. Sylvain to Samuel Speen, running into some traffic. Speen hangs onto it, dashing through the midfield and now finding space. Speen, the freshman from Ann Arbor, sends it out wide. And now service lands on the backside for Sylvain. He'll have to recollect. Silas Rustin, a junior from Detroit. This is the longest the Titans have sustained possession thus far tonight. Now they're into the attacking third once again. Ferguson heads that one away, and now Bonneau has space to settle down the situation for Notre Dame and locate Balfour.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it's probably the longest the Titans have had the possession so far in the game. In part, was what I was mentioning before, the change in the system. I think it has really favored the Irish when it comes to having an extra midfield that gives you an extra pair of legs. And the place where the ball is disputed the most, it results in you maximizing your possession. But nevertheless, we saw that the Titans also have some talent there in Speen. Freshman, second start in his career, but a great move. They're trying to carry the ball and give some composure to the Titans. They definitely need to build up that momentum.
KK Balfour commits the foul against Josh Copeland, a sophomore in the midfield who has started every single Detroit Mercy game since he arrived as a freshman last year, now 26 for 26. Here comes Lafayette again. Sylvain. Space in the midfield for Simon. Rue working on him from behind, and now here comes Lafayette into the corner. Drew Pearson, Detroit Mercy, certainly beginning to find their footing as a team. As they go out wide again, but it's just beyond Simon. And Bartlett can watch that trickle out for an Irish throw. Freshman keeper for Notre Dame, Blake Kelly, gets involved. Sends it long, just beyond Matthew Rue. Kelly made a terrific save just seconds before the lone goal he surrendered on Friday against Chicago State. It was a well-taken free kick from the Cougars that Kelly deflected off the inside of the post, and the rebound leaked right in front of the goal mouth, and Luca, a soft and unmarked Cougar, was able to put it in. Here come the Titans now on the far side as Copeland gets free. Ramsey defending, and Kelly's got his first save of the night.
That's what we were mentioning before. Whenever they have an opportunity, they'll try to get a shot on goal. They get their first one, and it's an easy one for Kelly to grasp. But that's the Titans' first shot on goal of the night.
Syed Janoun sent the one-time shot right into the lap of Blake Kelly. Janoun playing his 57th career game, all in a Detroit Mercy uniform. He's in his 5th season with the Titans. Notre Dame up 2-0 on goals from Matthew Rue, who has back-to-back multi-goal performances. Notre Dame patiently waiting as the final 20 minutes of the first half approach. Ferguson finally goes long in Balfour's direction. Balfour settles it down, but he's just offside. That would have been quite the look for KK Balfour, whose first touch couldn't have been any better.
Yeah, it hasn't necessarily been the most active game by Balfour because the Irish switched things up a bit, attacking through different options and variations, specifically, as you mentioned, when we saw the lineup. Spicer coming in with Flanagan, that gives you a lot of powerhouse pretty much on the right side of the pitch. But nevertheless, we know the energy that Balfour can bring to this team. We've seen him change the game and the situation all around, all by himself so many times, that whenever he gets the ball, he can be a troublemaker really quickly.
Titans just made a handful of substitutions as Notre Dame intercepts the outlet feed. Here's Spicer. Joey Iaquaniello, Tim Alos, Ryan Sanborn, and Xander Crooks have checked in for Detroit Mercy. Lafayette, Copeland, Sylvain, and Syed Janoun to the bench. Offside again. This time Wyatt Lewis on the receiving end. Detroit Mercy sends everyone forward as Victor Sulk plays it through the air up the right side. Notre Dame knocks it down. There's Balfour running onto another one. Quick pivot move. Balfour so good in traffic. Winds that one back through all the way to Ferguson. Heavy contact and a foul against Drew Pearson as he stepped forward against Nolan Spicer. The Irish will keep it moving with now under 18 minutes to play in the first half. The Irish ahead by a pair on goals from Matthew Rue in the 9th and 12th minutes. Bryce Bonneau, Jack Flanagan, and Kyle Genenbacher with assists in this first half. Sulk goes up the middle this time. The Titans come away with the 50-50 ball, but Balfour puts himself in a passing lane. And here's Ferguson. Bryce Bonneau with a through ball that Sulk steps up to and just sends it nearly into the stands. Focused on nothing but clearance with Spicer and Rue charging. Notre Dame restarts its pressure. Leaks underneath Sulk and trickles out over the line. Corner kick coming for Notre Dame as Rue hurries to set it up. KK Balfour will have a chance to take his 5th corner of the night. Ian Shaw is about ready to check in for the Irish, and he will now as Nolan Spicer jogs out of the 18. Ian Shaw, a freshman from Minnesota, checks in and stands right next to Sulk. The ball comes his way. Sulk punches it out. And here comes yet another corner for Notre Dame. Victor Sulk stands at 6'2". The man next to him, Shaw, just 5'8". This time Balfour goes lower. It nearly comes right back to him. The Titans just airmail it out again. It was Xander Crooks, the redshirt sophomore from Portage, Michigan, on defense. Shaw getting his first touches.
And Shaw seems to be coming in to do exactly the job that Spicer was doing. He's transitioning with Flanagan sometimes being more towards the center, leaving Flanagan on the right wing. We've seen Shaw, even as a freshman this time around, have the backup of his coach, the experience, and he's one of those guys that is developing as every game goes on.
And Shaw and Flanagan, you mentioned, developing quite the connection in the second half on Friday. Flanagan had a brace and Shaw helped him out with a couple of assists, coming off the bench and playing 45 minutes. Matthew Rue just offside, still searching for that hat trick. With under 14 minutes to play. Salk and the Titans will start back up another possession. It's been a fascinating start for this Notre Dame attack. Each of the first 6 Irish goals on the season, all scored by different players. Kyle Genenbacher, to start the scoring on Friday, finally became the first Notre Dame player to 2 goals on the year. But since then, each of Notre Dame's last 7 strikes have come from the same 2 players. Matthew Rue with 5, Jack Flanagan with 2 of them.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's quite a stat. 6 goals from 6 different scorers on the first few games. Now you've got Rue having scored 5 in the last 2 with over 50 minutes to go tonight. So he could easily be scoring 6 goals in the last 2 games. And that's what the Irish are looking for. That momentum to be a 90 minutes team, that momentum to get them prepared for the upcoming ACC plays that they have. It's not an easy match, the one they have in store on Friday against Clemson, a rematch of the final. So they got to be their best version, and they got to take advantage of every opportunity they have to prepare towards that game.
Flanagan under duress. Quality defense from Silas Rustin. A former transfer from Madonna, another Detroit area school. Shaw has plenty of space through the midfield. Titans pick him off. Now here's Tim Allos, the junior, off the bench. Trying to play one creatively up the side, and he does earn a Titan throw, and Genenbacher doesn't realize it. He claims the ball never deflected off of him. Iaquaniello will throw it in. Genenbacher has to go track it down just outside his 18. Ramsey with plenty of real estate down the left side. Rue goes back to Flanagan, ahead for Bonneau. Notre Dame onside there, but Bonneau with a clean tackle keeps it moving for the Irish, has Flanagan available. Now to Shaw, looking for service. He cuts it back. Crooks hounding him. Now Genenbacher directing traffic. Forward for Flanagan. Bonneau at the penalty spot. Lewis dispossessed. And here come the Titans going out wide for Crooks. Crooks in some trouble. Shaw somehow keeps it in play. And now Lewis. Ramsey marks one toward the near corner. Calm defense from Iaquaniello. Brings Victor Salk an opportunity to play on his back line. Less than 10 minutes to go in the first half with Notre Dame up 2. Matthew Rue providing both the goals for the Fighting Irish. Foul from behind goes against Drew Pearson. As Flanagan received the pass. Detroit Mercy has another wave of substitutes, taking off the light green pennies and heading out onto the pitch.
Replacing number 3, Luke Winters, number 14, Samuel Steen, number 17, Silas Rustin, and number 20, Louis Simon.
And this amount of substitutions by the Titans is something that Coach Kapyun really likes to do. It's rare to see in the Titan roster any player that has truly played the full 90 minutes in a game. Most of them playing 65, most of them playing 80. But nevertheless, he likes to switch things up to get that preparation going. If you're trying to grow as a competitive program, one of the keys to that is your depth. And Coach Kapyun really takes advantage of the depth of his squad, trying to give some playtime to each of his players.
John Nino, Steven Costo, Noah Sandahl, and Spencer Powell, the ones who have entered. So 8 minutes remain in the first half. Notre Dame scored with just 22 seconds remaining in the first half on Friday to take a 3-0 lead. Shaw has a knockdown by Iaquiniello. Won the ball back briefly. Pinball's back over to Lewis. Beautifully done by him. Here comes Rue, offside again, and he puts it wide regardless. And with 7 minutes to go, Detroit Mercy resets once again. Rue continues to threaten for that hat trick. Great work between Shaw and Lewis to nearly set him up.
Yeah, that was a magical play by Lewis overall. Even if Rue was outside, some great kicks of the ball, trying to maintain that possession, to find a teammate onside. Couldn't find it this time around. That was a great skill by Lewis, as we see right there.
Rue got the inside position on Pearson. Last year's Horizon League all-freshman team selection on the back line. And the Titans with some space. Crooks sends Iaquiniello up the left side. Pressure still on. Gettenbacher went through the legs of Iaquiniello, and then Iaquiniello goes down along with a teammate. Notre Dame now has room to switch from right to left. Ramsey for about 4. Sizing up his options. He'll play back for Bartlett. Shaw battles with Pearson, and Pearson wins it for Detroit Mercy. Now Iaquiniello has space. Foul goes against Bryce Bonneau. With just over 5 minutes to play. Casey McCarthy, the junior defender from Brighton, Michigan, has played all 90 minutes. All 7 matches so far for Detroit Mercy. Sets up the new possession. Drew Pearson again, 27 in blue, is about to reach 2,000 minutes for his career, as he plays in his 26th career match tonight. He takes control once again. Flanagan knocks down his outlet. Here's Bonneau. Going diagonally in Rue's direction. It falls back for the Notre Dame captain. KK about 4. And a one-on-one. On service with his right foot. Titans clear as far as Bartlett. About 4 steps to it one more time. KK Balfour, the man who picked up 2 assists in the first half on Friday, wins another Irish throw-in. Here comes Gettenbacher, beneficiary of the first Balfour assist. Gettenbacher takes a kick. Detroit Mercy runs guilty of a foul, and Gettenbacher has a limp on that right leg, it looks like, right near the sideline. Irish already lost Sebastian Green, at least for the time being, just 25 seconds in with an apparent injury. Jacob Bartlett has played in his place for Notre Dame. Clearance will come all the way back to Kelly. Just 1 save so far for the Notre Dame keeper. Shaw on the move. Can't quite track it down as Spencer Powell stepped in front of him. He's a redshirt junior from East Lansing, Michigan. Gettenbacher sends in his specialty, the long throw from the right side. Detroit Mercy handles it perfectly. With 90 seconds to go, it's all the way back with Ramsey and Lewis for Notre Dame.
And the versatility by Gettenbacher. He's a great player when it comes to offensive determination with his long throw-ins. Playing as a right back this season, tonight, even at some moments of the game as a center back. We saw him on his sophomore season as a midfielder, a player that the Irish can have pretty much anywhere in the field.
Shaw, what a move that is, a Meg, and he takes a foul. Notre Dame will have a prime free kick opportunity coming up inside the final minute of the half. So the freshman has really shined off the bench for the Irish.
Yeah, we were mentioning exactly the trust that Coach Riley has in Ian Shaw. It's those skills that brought him to such an elite program. Great offensive determination there by Shaw. Gets a fall. The Irish are going to have the last say on the first half.
4 to the top of the 6 and off. Notre Dame ahead for the goal kick, and that should provide the final juncture of the first half. Barring a quick developing long ball from Victor Solk.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Notre Dame will go into the break up 2-0 on a first half brace from Matthew Rue, the senior forward. He picked up right where he left off with a hat trick on Friday night and has the Irish in position.
Their hands needs to try to control more on the midfield, trying to get some balls to their strikers that know how to get those shots going and potentially try to get a quick one back, trying to, keep that momentum and perhaps even unbalance the focus of the Irish a little bit tonight.
Notre Dame and Detroit Mercy about ready to open up the second half after a 30-minute weather delay. Pushed the start of this match back to 7:30, would have been 7:05. JJ, have you seen anything from these field conditions? We saw the slippage from Green right away. It seems that Notre Dame has likely lost him for the remainder of the match, but Have you seen anything different so far just with the style of play, with the slightly wetter grass conditions down below there at Alumni Stadium?
We were talking at the beginning of the match how that tends to be a situation where you get a more fast-paced game, perhaps. Those fast-paced games perhaps have either affected but also benefited Matthew Rue, we could say. 6 offsides for the Irish, many of them coming from Rue. Nevertheless, those fast boats have also had him onside on 2 times already, leading to his 2 goals of the night.
Now, important to note, it is not raining anymore as we walk you through the weather conditions actively here in South Bend. The temperature sitting right in the mid-60s, just a slight breeze, and just overcast to partly cloudy skies over South Bend as the second half resumes. Titans have the first touch, play it long and out. Throw-in coming for the Irish, who have led by a pair since the 12th minute, when Matthew Rue added his second goal of the match and his 5th in the last 2 games. Notre Dame takes over off the throw, and the Irish possessed 68% of the time in the first half. Turnover, now here comes Gershom Sylvain. Head for Pearson on the right side. His service goes well through the 18 and all the way out the backside for a Notre Dame throw-in. Silas Rustin for Detroit Mercy. As the Titans look for better results in the second half tonight. Josh Copeland plays it across, and there it is! The Titans are on the board! Gershom Sylvain in the mix, and the deficit has been cut in half. Detroit Mercy makes it 2-1 less than 2 minutes into the half.
We talked about the importance of finding a quick goal. They just found it. They started really well the second half with the back line on the half side of the pitch, leaving their intentions clear. They want to attack. They want to find those shots. Found one through Sylvain that gets it back into the net, and now it's a whole other game for the second half.
What a quick build-up through the right side from the Titans. Began with Drew Pearson. Then it was Silas Rustin, the one touch out wide for Copeland. And bang, bang, as Sylvain beat Gettenbacher to the spot and picked up his team-leading 4th goal of the season. And for Notre Dame, that's a very similar-looking start to the second half from what we saw on Friday night against Chicago State. Remember, Notre Dame led 3-0 midway through in that match, but Chicago State came back on a free kick very early in the second half and scored the second half's opening goal to make it 3-1. Notre Dame would respond rapidly from there. In fact, scoring just about a minute after Chicago State's goal to take the 6-1 lead and win. Another look at Sylvain's goal. What a touch to the upper part of the net.
And the way he gets into the little space that's left between Ferguson and Gettenbacher, that just shows you how good of a striker he is.
Notre Dame looked for Rue on the throw-in. Now he's got it. Victor Solk comes up with it on the back end for Detroit Mercy. 2 saves for him in the first half, including the beauty we showed you against Nolan Spicer. Sylvain on the run again. Copeland, the man who assisted him. Notre Dame turns Detroit Mercy over. Lewis has options to his right, locates one of them, Nolan Spicer. Ramsey with pressure from Saeed Janoun. The Irish send it down the field for KK Balfour. Drew Pearson handles him nicely and has it on the return feed from his keeper. Soak's clearance catches a piece of Matthew Rue. Could have been dangerous for Notre Dame as they've run into a couple of his outlets. But still, it turns into a throw-in for Detroit Mercy's Joey Iaquaniello. Goes wide for Spicer. Throw-in coming for Notre Dame. Another shot on goal for Spicer in the first half as he'll leave for Kyle Genenbacher and his long throw. So Lane whiffs the clearance. Genenbacher toward the penalty spot. Pearson defends from Rue. And now the Titans can counter with Copeland. They play back instead, and Pearson calms the waters and locates his center back, Spencer Powell. Pressuring the keeper, Solk, one more time. His outlet slips through midfield. And Detroit Mercy has numbers yet again. This is Janoun. Chipping it to the backside of the 18. Back for Pearson. And now McCarthy. Defense from Notre Dame and a clean play from Spicer wins the ball back. Now here come the Irish. Shaw with a big boot off a body and it lands for Sylvain.
The Irish are yet to find themselves with the long possessions they had to begin the first half. They dominated when it came to possession in the early stages of the first half. The tactical approach done by Coach Kopunek when it comes to bringing his team out on the second half has been effective so far, with them having possession, even if necessarily when it comes to actually creating a chance, it's been a goal period. They are mostly in control of the ball, and that gets you somewhere sometimes.
I think you're exactly right. It's only been 9 minutes, but Have you seen anything in particular with the strategy of Coach Kaepernick and the Titans here to open up this second half that's allowed them to find this success right out of the gate?
It's 6 boys pressuring, 6 players from the Titans pressuring. They get a free kick now, but it just shows you that offensive determination there. Even now things get more complicated with that yellow card, but overall it's all about that offensive determination, that high pressure, and a great approach by the Titans so far on the second half.
Wyatt Lewis goes into the book for Notre Dame. The Titans have a dangerous look at a free kick here with Drew Pearson. Another look as there were 2 Titans surrounding Wyatt Lewis, and all he could do to slow the Detroit Mercy threat was haul down Saeed Janoun. It's Pearson and Joey Iaquiniello standing over the ball for the Titans. Looks like Iaquiniello will take it. Comes in low and short. Notre Dame clears. Ramsey got his head to it. Ruse all the way back there for the Irish to help out. McCarthy in the corner. Just plays it off the body of Ian Shaw. The Titans will have what looks to be a throw in deep in the attacking third. Clayton Lafayette heaves it in. Right in front of Kelly in the goal mouth. But wide, still a corner kick coming for Detroit Mercy. Notre Dame can't get out of its own end right now.
Nope, it's stuck in their box. The Titans are doing their job when it comes to trying to tie the game. And watch out for that second post with Sylvain.
Iaquiniello takes it. High archer. But Rue got 2 first for Notre Dame. Ramsey can clear. Only as far as the Detroit Mercy bench where another Titan throwing is on the way. Notre Dame still without a shot in the first 10 minutes now of this second half. Detroit Mercy has one, and it found the back of the net with the Sylvain strike just moments ago in the 47th minute. Iaquiniello might be planning a very long throw. There it comes. Irish clear again, but one more time it moves the Titans a little bit closer. Sylvain got a piece of it. Finally, Shaw's the one to chip it out to midfield. Still the pressure's on with Sylvain beating Genenbacher. Kelly has to cover one up as Detroit Mercy with a couple of back heel plays. Moved it right to the top of the 6-yard and tested the Notre Dame keeper for a third time.
It's not going to be long before we see some changes coming from the Irish bench because they've lost control of the game. They have one more player in the midfield with only Rue on top. Flanagan isn't on the pitch right now, but it seems that the change in system isn't exactly what the game requires of them. And if they don't change things up with the will that the Titans are having so far, they might find a way to get a second one and tie things up. That's just a great save by Kelly.
Spencer Poe with the look for Detroit Mercy. Now here come the Irish with Balfour, sending one across in Rue's direction, and it ramps up beyond him. Maybe that Detroit Mercy chance, a wake-up call that Notre Dame needed early in the second half. Or perhaps the Titans will continue their surge. Now it's a foot race between Ramsey and Copeland. Ramsey just beats him there, but another deep throw is on the way for Detroit Mercy. Josh Copeland has been a major factor in this revival for the Titans early in the second half. He picked up the assist on Sylvain's 47th minute goal. His speed to turn Ramsey's head start into a 50-50 race forces the throw-in. Now it's inside the 18 again, rattling around and finally cleared out to midfield. The goalkeeper, Sulk, is way out of his position and just plays it wide of the leaping Shawl, and Notre Dame can throw it in now.
These plays just show you perhaps some of the things that the Irish have to offer, because even if it hasn't necessarily been their best start to the second half, you get a ball that's disputed in the middle of the pitch, you force your opposing keeper to come out, and you just get back the possession. The longer you have it when you're under such an attack, the better. And even if it was only a few seconds, the Irish snatched back something that was a play in their box from a throw-in by Copeland.
Quinello's gotten his throw-in work in here in the first 15 minutes of the half. He's got another one in front of the Irish bench that Genenbacher redirects. Quinello hit the deck on a slip. Spicer nearly pried the ball away from him, but the Titans keep it on the throw. Genenbacher defends yet again. Blake Kelly, who has made 2 saves on the night, 1 in each half. Matthew Rue on the prowl. Detroit Mercy has really bottled him up to start the second half. But perhaps now a chance for the Irish to move something in his direction and find a third. The Titans waving for an offside against Spicer, who pivots with it, fires it on goal. Rebound Balfour, shot blocked. And here comes Janoon the other direction. Bartlett has to slide to keep Copeland away from another dangerous run down the right side. As we take another look at this quick developing play from the Irish.
Yeah, but we're attentive there after it's taken away by Victor Sulk. The shot is blocked. But those are the type of opportunities where the Irish can be dangerous. Even without having the possession of the ball, you give them one chance, they can score a third, complicate things more for the Titans. So it's still an open game on both ends of the pitch with what we're seeing so far on both ends of the pitch. And you can see even Coach Kopjunik getting a little intense there with the fourth official. Just shows you how much the intensity of the game has changed and shifted.
Yeah, they're upset. They're upset because they believe Sylvain took a push into the back, playing that 50-50 ball right across midfield, and then as Nolan Spicer catches some contact from behind, they do call the foul, and Coach Kopjunik does have some words for the officiating crew. Michael Laverne leads this group. Carlos Leyva and Christopher Lauer, the assistants. A creative play to find Sylvain. His cutback on Genenbacher frees up a run. Sylvain still with it inside the 18 and just too heavy a touch. Otherwise, that could have been something.
As long as the Titans keep on attacking, as I was mentioning before, it's still an open game. The power shift of the second half has just been a whole different story than the one we had in the first half. And it just goes to the mission of trying to compete with the best. The Titans came to this match and approached it with, while the Irish are still looking to get a third one. They are still in the lead, but nevertheless, they could find one here.
Bafour's in, but sprawling on top of it, the keeper Sulk. And he'll start up the counter right away.
And for the match we're having, the pitch conditions are perfect, because we're getting the fast-paced game that favors a pitch that's wet after a rainy day overall, a rainy Tuesday here in South Bend.
Yeah, that pace has really picked up in this opening 19-minute segment of the second half. Another Detroit Mercy foul. Gives Notre Dame an opportunity to reload. The Irish legitimately on the ropes over these past 20 minutes or so. And you can see that animation coming from the Titans bench. They are fully engaged behind the lead of their head coach tonight.
But the most impressive thing, and I noticed that from the first half, is that all of the Titan bench hasn't taken a seat in the entire game. They're all standing in the entire game. And you live up to those standards when you're just up there feeling that emotion, feeling the energy that's coming into the game. You can see them right there. They're all on their feet. They're ready to come in whenever their coach calls them. And they're bringing in that energy for the away team tonight.
Living and dying with every touch, every whistle, every call. Even if the result doesn't go their way, the Titan bench will certainly have had themselves a memorable night. Meanwhile, KK Balfour is preparing a free kick inside the final 25 minutes. He just had that golden opportunity moments ago for a potential third Irish goal, but Victor Sulk timed up his touch perfectly and covered up the breakaway chance. Quality defense from Iaquinello. Balfour still gets to it. Corner kick coming. It landed back to Balfour, and he played it off the body of a Titan. And just prior to the second half's midway point, it's corner kick number 7 on the night for Notre Dame. Ferguson, right in front. Spicer denied. My goodness, Sulk does it again.
That's another outstanding save by Victor Sulk. The Irish could have 4 by now. He keeps on denying them. When you're so committed to attacking, you also need to make sure that you have a solid wall back there. And that's what Sulk has been tonight for the Titans.
Each of his 2 best saves tonight have come against Nolan Spicer.
And both in crucial moments of the game, because had the Irish gotten the third there, probably the Titans would have had a way different approach to avoid conceding more. And now, had the Irish gotten the third, again, well, we would have seen a whole different approach by the Titans when it comes to their offensive determination in the second half.
Roux applying the pressure with Balfour. Titans manage it well. And now on it goes for an offside Sylvain. As he crept past Ferguson, but not legally. The Irish restart in a hurry. Spicer fields it off the chest. Final quarter of the match here in South Bend. Notre Dame has led since the 9th minute, but Detroit Mercy, playing with house money on the road, has made it quite uncomfortable throughout this second half for the Irish. Pulling within a goal in the 47th minute. Here's Bafour with Roux. Roux still sitting on a brace. He's got it now. Cutting back on his right foot. Roux wants to shoot. He fires away, and Solk knocks it down for another stop.
Roux on the hunt for the third. The Irish on the hunt for the third. Solk on the mission to stop it. Gets another save. But these not necessarily clear attempts, but attempts that the Irish are getting are crucial to give them a little bit of breathing space when it comes to how they approach the final 20.
Kelly has his clearance go off a body. That was Janoon stepping forward, as there was not enough pace on the backwards pass from the Irish. Now the Notre Dame midfield must recover. Notre Dame break out of this tight pressure. Looks like they will with Ramsey and Bafour on the left side. Good defense from Drew Pearson. Here's another look at that dangerous play as Kelly would have been in quite the pickle. Janoon could have stayed on his feet there, blocking the clearance. Instead, it's Spicer up the right side for the Irish. Finding his man, Bartlett, across it goes. Solk lunges, still there for Lewis. Turning on his left foot and earning the corner kick.
You get action on one side of the pitch, you get action on the other. That's the narrative of this past few minutes of the second half so far. This one could have been the third one. Just goes past before. And the Irish now have a corner.
Shaw locates Bafour, room to fire. Goes well wide off a couple of bodies. Back out to midfield for Ramsey. Notre Dame keeps its foot on the gas. Service toward the penalty spot. Ferguson the header. And out for a Titan goal kick inside the last 20 minutes. Now 12 shots on the night for Notre Dame, just 3 for Detroit Mercy. Solk's up to 5 saves on the evening. It's the third consecutive match in which he's faced double-digit shot attempts. In the previous 2 matches, he only made 2 saves each. Now 5 as Bafour goes down, and that's a foul against Detroit Mercy with Josh Copeland stepping in defensively. And the Irish, who have turned the tables a bit in the second half, creating those set piece opportunities, have another one coming up.
And it's going to be Bafour again, the one to take the set piece. We know what the Irish are capable of doing through set pieces. So the Titans have to be really attentive when it comes to how they approach a possible crucial moment of the game right now.
Bafour to the back post. It lands for Spicer. A ton of traffic in the lane blocks his rebound shot. And finally, the Titans clear it right into the Irish bench. Both teams will make changes ahead of this next Irish throw-in as Spicer makes his way off. Detroit Mercy makes a couple of switches up front as well.
Comes back on the pitch for the first time in the second half. That's all for Spicer, at least as of right now. And we'll see how much change does Coach Riley actually want to make on his midfield, because with a 2-1 score, while Lewis has a yellow card, your defensive midfielder has a yellow card. Last match we saw him take Schrader off after getting a quick yellow. So we could see some more changes in the remaining time of the game.
There's Matthew Rue. Bryce Bonneau. Flanagan just re-entered the match. Through the 6-yard it goes and cleared out for an Irish throw-in. And Shaw leaves it for Kyle Gennenbacher, and here comes the long throw again. Notre Dame looking for that crucial third goal to generate some separation from the Titans, who have battled hard since the halfway break. That one hops untouched over goal. Sulkin Detroit Mercy can set up the goal kick with 16.5 to play here in South Bend. Detroit Mercy brought in Luis Simone for Saeed Janoun during that last substitution timeout. Oh, there's a high kick from Bartlett. Catches Simone up high. Detroit Mercy will take the free kick with 16 minutes to go.
They needed an opportunity like this because even if they've had a little bit more of possession than they had in this first half, over the past few minutes, the Titans haven't really approached Kelly's area after that interaction between Kelly and Sergeyev. So we'll see if this is the attack they're looking for.
Silas Rustin takes the free kick, lofts it high in the air. Kelly tracking it, and he's got it, with Iaquinello crashing on the back post. It's moments like this where Chad Riley has been so impressed by his young keeper, his ability to handle all of that chaos inside his 6-yard. Some of those set-piece chances.
Yeah, he's a freshman. Nevertheless, as Chad Riley has mentioned, he plays like a veteran. He controls the moments of the game like a veteran. He knows when to pause, when to apply a little bit of calm. But on the other goal, you also got Victor Sog, who's had an outstanding night when it comes to keeping the Irish from scoring more than 2 goals tonight. Key to keeping the momentum going as well for the Titans on attack. Key to keeping only 2 on his goal. So you got a battle between 2 great goalkeepers.
Solk with 5 saves, including a couple of marvelous stops on Nolan Spicer. Kelly with 2 saves on the other end. Shot on goal totals of Notre Dame 7, Detroit Mercy 3. Shaw's had himself a very good night, wins the ball back for Notre Dame. Trying to split defenders. He loses control. Sylvain a bit out of control as the Irish take it right back. Move it quickly back for Shaw. Tripped up, clean play. And now Sylvain goes down. The Titans again are up in arms. The Irish look for KK Bafour up ahead. Bafour has the size mismatch against Drew Pearson at 5'10", and Pearson clears up the right side.
Kopjanek again, can't believe it. He's been told by the 4th official to calm down. He hasn't really calmed down. Thought this was a foul, the one we just had in the midfield. It wasn't called. And the Irish now have a corner.
The conversation continues behind the play between the 4th official and Kopjanek. And well, KK Bafour lines up Notre Dame's 9th corner kick of the night. The Titans have defended these pretty well throughout the course of the match. This one finds Wyatt Lewis. Back-to-back shot blocks as Gedenbacher had a look as well. Notre Dame a bit nonchalant getting back to that one. Nearly ran into some trouble, but they keep it moving for KK Bafour. Ahead to Matthew Rue. Past him, past Flanagan. And it cleanly winds its way through the backside of the 18 for a goal kick.
But now the Irish have gone back to the two-man structure that you get when Flanagan's on the pitch, because he can't only play as a right winger, but he can also play right next to Rue. Coach Riley talked about this with us. Rue more of a false nine. Flanagan giving you that versatility on the wing and through the center as a forward. That just shows you that the Irish won the third goal that secures the win tonight.
That was the alignment on Friday night. Rue and Flanagan up top. They combined for 5 goals. Earlier today it was Spicer who started the match alongside Matthew Rue for Notre Dame, with Flanagan more in that right wing position. Just over 11 minutes to play. Detroit Mercy looking to equalize. They've come close in the second half. Meanwhile, the Irish knocking on the door of a third goal. Two substitutions incoming for Detroit Mercy. As Tim Allos, the junior forward, re-enters the picture. And away you go Copeland, the assist man on the lone Titan goal, and Iaquinello.
Tim Allo is one of those players whom Coach Kapianek really trusts in 7 games played this season. Prior to this one, it's now 8. He had started in 6 out of those 7 games. He also a player with a great offensive determination, 10 shots in those 7 games and 1 goal for him so far.
Here's Sylvain atop the 18. Runs into a sliding Ramsey. Now here come the Irish briefly. Ramsey's just going to send that one as far as he can out of harm's way. And for John Nino to track it down. Allos in for Copeland. Samuel Speen for Joey Iaquinello. Detroit Mercy looking for another push. But it's not quite there as Drew Pearson sees the bending ball from Powell around Balfour elude him. Silas Rustin couldn't quite keep it in play. Throw in coming for Notre Dame on the left side. Matthew Rue, who has scored both of Notre Dame's 2 goals tonight. The Irish haven't found the back of the net since he completed his brace in the 12th minute, however.
And they've had their chances.
Certainly. So as Sylvain, he's the lone goal scorer for Detroit Mercy in this one. With good work to poke that ball forward. Now Poe has to go chase it down. And Balfour and Rue combine to foul him. They're both upset about the loss of a potential scoring chance. With under 8 minutes to go. Detroit Mercy avoids another potential Irish move. Balfour guilty of the foul. Now long go the Titans for Sylvain. Chasing it down alongside Ferguson. Sylvain slips back to his feet. Goal kick, Notre Dame. Samuel Speed made the run up the left side, and his teammates were very intense about looking for that corner kick.
Yeah, guess who doesn't believe it again? Coach Kopienek.
Of course.
The intensity is just over the roof on the Titans bench. But that's how you should live a game, always.
Especially when you played here last season, similar time of year, lost by just 1 goal. I mean, they want to equalize badly.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these guys on the Detroit Mercy field right now and the bench. And, of course, Coach Kopienek in his 2nd season. Remember coming here last season and would love nothing more than to walk out of here with at least a draw.
Absolutely. And why not fight for it? I mean, with the storyline that you've had on the second half, you've shown that the Irish aren't necessarily a side that's necessarily non-vulnerable to their opposition's attacks. So why not give it a shot? You've got 6 minutes on the clock. If you find a shot, we've seen a similar storyline against Duquesne. The Irish attacked, and by the situations of the game, Duquesne ended up having a draw.
It was in the final 5 minutes of that Duquesne match that the Dukes ended with that draw. Notre Dame with a penalty kick goal. Detroit Mercy up next goes back home to take on Northern Kentucky at 7 p.m. on Saturday, and then a 2-game road trip to IU Indy and Bowling Green as the Titans move into the heart of Horizon League play. And Spencer Powell with a fine sliding play earns a goal kick with now under 6 minutes to play. Detroit Mercy's off to an 0-1-1 start in conference action. 1-5-1 overall. Notre Dame, meanwhile, also set to move back into league play of their own in the ACC in that Friday night contest we previewed against Clemson here. ESPNU, the national broadcast, will carry that one at 7 p.m. Friday evening. As the 12th ranked Tigers come to town. Five minutes to go. Rue too hot to handle. Well, now here is Pearson, given some space. Now Lewis steps in front of him. Pearson, good looking service. It pops up for Sylvain, and Kelly with a juggling grab. And offside anyway, the ruling from the near side assistant.
This one scored offside, but once again we see Kelly, the freshman, that just plays with such an experience. You can see him struggling to get a hold on the ball. No worries at all. I quickly recover and I bring tranquility to the team. That's just such important characteristics to have. The trust in the team begins from the goalkeeper, and Kelly is trustworthy for the Irish.
Will Schrader, number 14 in white, has recently entered the match for Ian Shaw. So we're now inside the final 4 minutes of play here in South Bend. Samuel Speed unable to win a throw-in as he tried to angle his outlet off the body of an Irish player. Instead, Genenbacher has the throw coming for Notre Dame. Matthew Rue. Notre Dame centralizes for Lewis. Irish can't quite hang on to possession. They win it back on the header in Bartlett's direction. again. Just at the edge of the 18, turning back. It's a clean play as Rue's slow to get to his feet. Irish win the ball back, however. Rue still getting up behind the play. As Wyatt Lewis takes it for the Irish. Marching through the middle, Lewis loses control. Balfour's there to back him up. Bryce Bennett, all sorts of space on the right side for Flanagan. Service goes long, and Balfour has to go track it down near the corner. He's beaten to it. And here comes a foot race. Ramsey's there for help, and he steps up to it, and there's a foul against Ryan Sanborn, the redshirt junior forward. The only first-year transfer on this Detroit Mercy squad from Bowling Green. The clock freezes with 2 minutes and 21 seconds to play.
The referee is going to the VAR. I think he's probably going to have a look on the potential penalty over Rue.
So the play goes under review with just over 140 seconds remaining, as Ramsey took the heavy foul from Sanborn. Coming over to back up Jacob Bartlett, who was in a foot race down the near side. This intense second half continues. Statistically, Notre Dame has dominated, out shooting Detroit Mercy 15-3 as you get a look at the qualifications for reviews in NCAA soccer. Here's another look at the contact. That right foot sweeping across the right knee of Josh Ramsey. JJ, you see enough there for an upgrade?
No. I think that's just a fall that you make when you're just losing by one, honestly. I'm not sure, however, if he's reviewing this play or the Rue play, because the ball hadn't gone out ever since the potential penalty on Rue. So we're going to see in a few minutes, if there's a change in decision, what he was actually reviewing.
So the replay continues for referee Michael Laverne. The fourth referee, Jeremy Sharp, has joined him next to the monitor. Carlos Leyva looking on in the foreground. Christopher Lauer, the near side assistant referee, had the closest look at the play as it came down his near sideline. Ramsey awaiting the verdict, as well as the guilty party, Sanborn. And it's a penalty kick, so they went back to the Matthew Rue situation just moments before the foul on Ramsey. And here's a prime chance for A, Matthew Rue to complete the hat trick, and B, for Notre Dame to get that crucial third goal and, for all intents and purposes, put this one away.
I wouldn't want to be Jeremy Sharp right now explaining this to Kopinek. Nevertheless, Rue now has a chance for a consecutive game with a hat trick from the spot.
Matthew Rue, a shot at his third career hat trick, his second in the last 4 days. On the flip side, Victor Solk looking for another massive save tonight. He's already got 5. Here comes Rue, and there's the hat trick. He just scores when he wants. He's got 6 goals in his last 2 matches, and he's put Notre Dame up by a pair in minute number 88.
And that potentially seals the deal, as we'll see a replay on the penalty that was awarded to Notre Dame. The foul is on Roux. It is a foul. And Roux transforms it from the spot into his 3rd of the night, the 3rd for the Irish. Hat trick for the 2nd consecutive game for Roux. And that's the type and the version of Matthew Roux that the Irish want to have ready and in store for Clemson's visit on Friday.
And Roux, look at that. Just the 2nd player in program history with 2 hat tricks in a season. You have to go back to Kevin Lovejoy, 1979. The last time an Irish player struck for a pair of 3-goal performances in a single year. Roux's got a lot of season left for a potential 3rd. He's up to 7 goals on the season now.
10 goals from Roux last season, and it's looking, given the, as you mentioned, the huge chunk of the season that's left, it's looking like he could easily beat those 10 goals potentially this season.
Roux now with 7 goals or more in 3 of his 4 collegiate seasons. Each of the first 2 years he scored 7+ as a freshman in 2021, and last year's junior season Notre Dame went to the College Cup. Just a minute 15 to play with the Irish up 2. Closing it out, Notre Dame can get to 3-1-3 on the young season and win back-to-back games for the first time this year. Detroit Mercy might not be done yet. And there's an easy foul call, but it goes against Detroit Mercy. Back behind the play. A couple of Titans are calling for the video review right away. Schrader, check that, Roux actually needs some time to return to his feet.
And it's not looking like a review is going to be made. It's going to be a foul for the Irish. We're just going to run down the clock and secure the win.
Off the restart, 30 seconds remain. As the Titans play it long, and John Nino steps onto it. Detroit Mercy sending just about everyone forward inside the final 20 ticks. One more foul call will wrap it up. Notre Dame will get to 3-1-3 on the season and close out a 3-1 victory over Detroit Mercy here on this Tuesday night. Matthew Roux, the man of the match again, with his second consecutive hat trick.
The